This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're at the Lamex Stadium here in Stevenage, just up the road from Frank Warren. Lazy man you are, Frank, putting this on here. You can just, like Billy Joe, get drunk and then walk home.
I walked here this morning. No, it's good. It's going to be quite an exciting night. I'm pleased that we're here, and I'm expecting we'll get a good turnout with a good card. We've got a good undercard we're putting together, so it's going to be, I think we're having an exceptional night of boxing here.
So, Frank, obviously, after the April 13th kind of ended, that date ended for Billy Joe to be fighting at Wembley Stadium, how quickly kind of was things done to get this fight over here in Stevenage, like I said, Bill's home place?
We've done it within a week. We did it last week, and then we had to apply for the licence, which is going to be is imminent, and we're all good to go. So the tickets will be on sale on the 1st of April. We'll announce all the card by then, so everybody's going to see, as I say, a good night's boxing.
What is the situation regarding the licence, Frank?
It's imminent. It'll be granted. It's all, obviously everything's subject to a licence. There'll be a few safety aspects of it, but as I say, the tickets will be on sale on the 1st of April.
Couldn't this not have been announced after that licence had been granted? Wouldn't that have been a better thing to have done? Or?
No, not at all. I mean, it's nothing unusual to be fights to be announced and it's subject to licences being granted. He's got to get to training camp. What do I want to do? Hanging around for another week, and he's got to be in training. That's why we're doing it. What you made a big thing about that for?
No, I'm not making a big thing about it. No, I'm not making a big thing about it. I'm just asking the question, Frank.
Right, and I'll give you the answer. The fight's on. The show will be on.
Any idea who could feature on the undercard of this, Frank?
No, we're not. We're still working on it, and it'd be a decent undercard. It'd be a very good undercard. Some of our youngsters on there, and a couple of our good fighters will be on there.
With May the 18th obviously being a little while away, how confident are you or not confident that this could be for the full version of the world title come May the 18th?
Well, that's what it should have been. You know, when the WBO put it out, it was going to be for the full title, but Ramirez changed his mind, and unfortunately, having agreed to fight, it's now become for an interim title. I don't know. Ramirez is fighting in April in the States, and hopefully he'll make his decision what he's going to do after that. If he stays at light heavyweight, the winner of this will be the champion. If not, the winner of this will fight him for the title, full title.
I mean, was that part of the idea to kind of push that back so you can see that situation resolve itself before, obviously, May the 18th come and Billy Joe has to fight for what we're hoping is the full world title by then?
I would like to have said that, but it's not. I mean, it's just different circumstances. We pushed it back because we wanted to make sure we had the right venue for it, and that was one of the problems. But we are. Look, whatever's going to be is going to be. At the end of the day, this is a good fight. He's fighting a guy who's ranked #1 in the world, was the mandatory or is the mandatory challenger to Ramirez, now fighting Bill. He's fought a cruiserweight. He's fought a light heavyweight. His last 16 fights, he's lost one, and that was at last time he fought a light heavyweight. As a super middleweight, he's on a 10-fight roll. So, and he's a banger. He can punch. So Bill's going to have to be his best. I mean, the interesting thing for me will be on the night is what weight he'll be, on the night of the fight. We know what he's got to weigh in at for super middleweight. What weight is he going to be on? I think Bill will have to give a bit of weight away, having coming up a weight.
So, from what you said in the press conference, you're going to open this out to roughly between 10 and 12,000. You confident you can fill that to that capacity, Frank?
Yeah, I'm quite sure we will. I mean, as I say, we've got a good card, and there's a good boxing fraternity in Hertfordshire, and I did a show in Stevenage with Billy Schwer quite a few years ago.
From Luton, Billy Schwer.
Yeah, we done it at Stevenage Ice Rink, and that sold out in 2 weeks. Was gone. All the tickets were gone. And I think that held about 3,500 back then. So yeah, and that was for no, it's just maybe a European title or something. So I expect this to be sold. It's 20 minutes from London. You get on a train at Finsbury Park, you're here in 20 minutes. If you live in North London, it's more difficult to get to the O2.
Yeah, that is absolutely true, actually. So yeah, May the 18th, undercard still, like I said, we've got time on that as well. But yeah, there should be a lively atmosphere here, Frank.
It will be lively, there's no doubt about that. It's going to be lively, and I think we're going to get some, as I say, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to Bill, the King of Hearts, being in Hertfordshire.
We briefly touched on this. Obviously, Billy Joe Saunders is back working with Ben Davison now after, I'm not going to say split, but they've departed ways, and it seems amicable between him and Dominic Ingle. He even said that Dominic Ingle may be in the corner on the night as well. So, yeah, Billy Joe Saunders, new weight. I say potentially because he's still talking about possibly coming back down to middleweight, but working with Ben Davison again. He's
working with Ben again, and I think that's good for him. I mean, him and Dominic whatever's happened's happened. But Ben's proved himself with Tyson. He's proved that he's a top quality trainer. And now, as far as Bill's concerned, Bill's got the bit between his teeth. He's been inspired by Tyson, and I know that Ben's going to stand no nonsense off of him. And the fact of the matter is, when Bill gets in the gym, he doesn't mess about. He's a good pro. The problem is when he's not in the gym, and he had a crap year last year, some self-inflicted. So lessons learned, and now move on and onwards and upwards.
Frank, are you aware there's a show in Glasgow up on the same night, May the 18th, with Josh Taylor?
Didn't even know that. What's that for?
Josh Taylor in the World Boxing Series.
I didn't know. That's another country.
All right, okay, well, there is another one. I'm only asking you.
What was it on?
That, actually, I don't know.
There you go. Nor do I. I don't think it's on Sky. It's certainly not on BT. Whatever it is, it is.
But, Frank, just to kind of, I know we spoke about this last time, but these things are going to happen, Frank. And do you accept that? And it's going to come on both sides, your side and other sides as well.
To be honest, I didn't even know there was a show on up in Scotland. I haven't seen it advertised on any TV channel. And I don't think any of them have been on TV. Have there any main TV channels? Have they?
Some of the earlier ones were, but the last, we showed one, correct, but...
That was the last one on a TV channel? I don't think it was.
No, I don't think a TV deal has been done for it yet, to be honest.
Difference, is it? The people who are going to go there are going to go there anyway, so it's not going to make any difference to us. And if you're not going to see it on TV, you might as well watch our one on TV if you can't get down here. He's a good fighter, by the way. I like Josh. He's a good fighter.
Absolutely. Tyson Fury's opponent was announced over the weekend as Tom Schwartz, 24-0, 18 KOs. Talk to me about why it is Tom Schwartz.
Well, he's one of the list of opponents that were put forward, and the bottom line is he's number 2, ranked number 2 in the WBO. He's, as you say, he's undefeated, 24-0. Tyson was 24-0 when he won the world title against Klitschko. So it's a fight that's going to hopefully, he wins, because I'm not taking anything for granted, but he comes through. It's a fight that will hopefully establish him on the ESPN network in the States and get him to a wider audience, which will enable us then to make the bigger fights.
After the Wilder fight was kind of seemingly dead in the water to happen immediately, anyone apart from Wilder, people were always going to be critical of. Is that fair to say, Frank? As in whoever the opponent was, if it wasn't Wilder, people were always going to be critical.
It is what it is. We made it very clear at the end of the day that we want to be there with equal strength at the negotiation table. The fact that Deontay was, champion, albeit that, the fight with Tyson after the last one was sort of very equal. The fact is, it had to be on a PBC show, and it had to be them promoting it. And from our perspective, what we want is a situation where we can go and say, look, well, we'll pay you, Deontay, to come and take the fight. And that's really what it's about, building Tyson, and he is. And the fact of the matter is, he's going to get more exposure in the States than Deontay and Anthony Joshua combined with the channel. They're in 75% of the homes in America.
Frank, Tyson did announce the fight for June the 15th at the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas, but as I understand, that venue hasn't been confirmed yet. Is that true?
That's true. Nothing's confirmed. When it is announced, it'll be a joint announcement between all of us.
Okay, well, just like I said, going from what Tyson said, but I understand there's another venue in play as well that is also in the mix.
The venue will be announced very, very soon, I'm sure.
Could any of your other Queensberry fighters be featuring on that card in Las Vegas on the 15th?
That I don't know yet, but the fact is we have a show on the same night here in the UK, which is a bit of a problem. It's a big, big show as well. So we got that problem with Josh Warrington and Kid Galahad. So it's a good night's boxing.
I was going to come on to that. So June the 15th, we have Warrington Galahad in Leeds and also Tyson Fury fighting in the early hours of the morning in the States. Will BT viewers be able to watch both of them as part of their regular subscription, or is it a possibility that Tyson Fury's part will be on BT pay-per-view? There's
been no discussion about that at the moment regarding Tyson's, because it's not been announced yet. So that'll be sorted out certainly within the next week. But Josh's fight is, as we announced, part of the subscription service.
Okay. Frank, any developments on Sergey Kovalev and Anthony Yarde? This is gathering a lot of pace, as in talk-wise? People kind of waiting to see whether it will go to purse bids or not?
Well, we'll see what happens. If we can't agree terms, it'll go to purse bids.
Are you sort of putting out there that you want this fight and Tundi wants this fight and Anthony Yarde wants this fight next with Kovalev?
We are negotiating for that fight, and we were negotiating over the weekend, and we'll be talking again today. We want to, the fight's on. They've called it, and we've accepted it.
I mean, is it unrealistic for this fight to take place? I mean, Tundi's talking about Arsenal Football Club, which is rather optimistic for any fight,
I can't be responsible for what people say, whatever they do. At the end of the day, we know the type of venue that the fight will take place in if it happens in the UK, and that's where we're at. It won't be at Arsenal Football Club.
I certainly hope it happens in the UK. I mean, what would be brilliant.
We do. I want it in the UK. We don't want to be travelling at all. That's where we want it. We want it in the UK. But let's get the negotiations done first, then we can determine where it's going to be. All the other stuff is just all hot air. It doesn't mean anything.
All right, well, I'm sure you'll keep us updated on that. Just a flashback to Leicester over the weekend, rather eventful. I want to start with Sam Maxwell's incredible fight where he kind of had everyone on the edge of their seats for the wrong reasons in the opening rounds, but then produced literally one of the best knockouts you'll ever see.
Well, it was a spectacular knockout, wasn't it? And he, 15 seconds to go in the fight and pulled it out the bag and flattened him. It was, as you say, and I don't think there was a person in the place who was unhappy to see that happen, with a guy being all cocky and all the legs trembling and all that. It was like a bit of, what do I call it, like sweet justice.
I understand Sam Maxwell was taken to hospital after, but I've heard that he's okay.
Yeah, so I heard. He had a hydration problem. It was fought quite a fast-paced fight. It was a tough fight for Sam. He made it a tough fight for himself, in my opinion. But it was a tough fight, and he had some ice water and apparently had a reaction to that. But he is, so I understand, okay now.
Nathan Gorman went the distance with the ever-durable Kevin Johnson. What did you make of his performance, and what could be next for Nathan?
I felt sorry for Nathan, and he must have been really pissed off with us as the promoters, because he had 3 different fights in the course of a week, 3 different fighters, 2 pulled out, and you're training for a fight and training for styles, and then suddenly you're facing Kevin Johnson on the night, which is a nightmare for anybody. He's a survivor, he's awkward, and he's tough. He covers up well. He can make you look bad. But I thought he'd done in all those circumstances, Nathan truly professionally done a good job. He won every round, and it gave him a good workout. that's all I can say about it. He done well, and we want to get him out soon, and hopefully he'll get the fight that we announced, and we won't have to change the opponents.
Frank, what's the chances of Sam Bowen and Leon Woodstock in Leicester?
It's a big fight, and I think that's a great fight for Leicester. So we're going to talk to all the parties concerned and see what we can do.
This is great. He's a great talent, Sam Bowen, and it's interesting to see exactly how good he is.
Well, it is, and so's Leon. So the pep between the two of them, you find out who's the king of Leicester. So it's something we certainly like to get on.
The board have ordered your man, Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce. Now, a lot of people believe that this fight won't take place. What can you kind of say to that, and what are the realistic chances of this fight actually happening? We know Dubois has an opponent already in Richard Lartey on the 27th of April at Wembley, but what are the chances of this fight happening after that?
Well, really, all I want Daniel, I don't even want Daniel to think about anything else, what the board have done. But as far as Richard Lartey is concerned, that's all he needs to focus on. It's a tough opponent for him. He's a world-ranked opponent. I think he's ranked number 14. He's 14 or 15 fights he's had, won 14, and the only one he lost was, I think he was injured during the fight and had to pull out the fight. It's a tough fight for Daniel. I want it to come through that. We step him up every time. He comes through that. Not a problem making the Joe Joyce. He won't be being withdrawn from that fight at all.
That's very interesting to hear that, because obviously the feedback we're getting from Joe Joyce's camp is they're up for that as well. So what a fight that is.
Exactly. So let's get my man through on the show on the 27th of April at Wembley. Buy a ticket, be there, because it's going to be a good show. And then hopefully we can get that on in the summer. It's
awkward when, like I said, this has happened because Daniel's already got his fight. So, but then people start kind of jumping steps ahead, and then start talking about that?
Can't be responsible what people do. No, we can't be responsible for any of that. All we can do, we announced the fight, how long ago was it? About 2 weeks ago with Daniel, so we are where we are. In the meantime, the board of, obviously, Fury vacated the title, so they put out the fight for the title between those two. So we'll move with it, we'll go with it.
Frank, there's a lot of rumours that Billy Joe Saunders is being linked with ESPN, similar to Frampton and Fury. Can you make any comment on that?
That's not true.
Okay, all right, no problem. Just asking the question.
The fight will be seen on ESPN because we've got a contract with them for showing our shows.
Okay, no problem. Anything else you want to add, Frank, before we leave?
No, everything's good. Just working hard on these shows. We've got some good fights coming up over the summer, or spring and summer. Some good shows. So I've got to just keep delivering.
Any inklings to where shows could take place in kind of the summer months of June and July?
Big show in London, and a big show in London.
So 2 shows in London?
Yeah, one in June and one in July. Yeah.
Any idea who they could be featuring?
I have. Yeah, I've got an idea.
Well, hopefully Yarde's on one of them, because then,
There's fingers crossed if we get them. I can't say it's definitely be done because we don't know where these fights are going to take place yet. But yeah, I'd love that to be in London.
Okay, but it won't be at Arsenal. Like I said, it's optimistic. It's a great dream, and you can't knock someone kind of having those thoughts.
With Arsenal, the problem is everything has to take place. If you were going to do it, it has to take place in May because they're a football club and they have situations with their pitches and so forth. So that won't be happening during that at all.
It's incredible with your ties to Arsenal that there hasn't been a fight that you've promoted at the Emirates.
Yeah, we nearly done it last year. We was trying to do it, and unfortunately we couldn't get the dates to be matched up. It was a shame, really. But anyway, we live in hope.
If anyone can do it at Arsenal, it is you, Frank. I'd love to go to one at Arsenal.
So would I. Of course, I'd love to go.
Use your box as well.
Would you? Well, one at Arsenal, but we're here at Stevenage, our second team, so we're here for them.
All right, let's hope the weather holds out. Frank Warren, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV, and no doubt we'll catch up with you soon.
You certainly will. Thanks, Joe, mate.